Hi, I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a very long time, and it really starts back about 2.5 years ago when I decided to sell my house and relocate. And a couple of people at that time had suggested I was running away from something, and I never felt that way, not at all. In fact, I really felt like I was running to something. When I first got free from the narcissistic abuser in my life, I was overwhelmed by how devastated my life had become. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially. My relationships were in turmoil. My career was in turmoil. I think as victims of narcissistic abuse, we all collectively agree that the abuse is so all-consuming, it impacts and affects every aspect of our life. It had absolutely challenged my ability to even trust myself or trust my own intuition, because gaslighting, of course, it just results in such an utter state of confusion, cognitive dissonance. It's very hard to tell which end is up. So there I was, wallowing in a puddle of misery and confusion and hopelessness. And I realized, as I've said many times, nobody is coming to save us. Nobody was coming to my front door to save me. And the responsibility to drag myself to a better place was solely mine. And I had to do that. So knowing that, I realized that I might be able to design my own life. I might be able to get control of my life to the point that I can develop a vision for myself, for my family, for my future, my career, for future friendships and potential relationships. And I had this feeling that if I just got myself that one step forward each and every day, I would ultimately end up at a better place. Well, all these years later, most certainly I have reached that better place. Now, one of the things that was happening in my life when I was making videos more frequently was I was trying to reignite my jewelry design career, which I had been able to do quite successfully. I did it with the barest minimum of supplies and jewelry findings, but I was able to get some designs made that did start to sell, which allowed me to buy more supplies that ultimately resulted in me making what I wanted to make, not what I could make. Now, that wasn't an overnight process. That took an entire year of just chipping away at it and, just doing what I could do despite what I wanted to do. I did recognize there were limitations, but with each additional step forward, the limitations were less restrictive, and I was able to start to move more fluidly towards a design career. And that worked out pretty good. So I had several shops retailing my jewelry for me. But while that was happening, I had started to reach out to local members of my community, artists within the local community here, to see if there was any interest in developing an artist co-op. Because of course, as local artists, from manufacturing, from producing the product to wholesaling it, you kind of lose control of all pricing from that point, because now it's in the hands of the retailer. So I thought to myself, is there a way that we can better control our product lines? And it's not that I want to be all controlling of everything, but I'm going to tell you, controlling my own life was never anything I had thought about or considered before the narcissistic abuse. I think at that point I came to realize that I had lost control of every aspect of my life. I mean, where my mail was being delivered, whether or not I'd receive my mail, all of it, everything. I lost control, and all of a sudden, control became something of interest to me. Not that I'm rigid about the control. That's not what it is. I guess I just didn't ever want to be in a position where I would totally lose control of something again, especially something as important to me, potentially as my life. So I started to think about ways I could better manage my business, have more control over it, work collectively as part of a community of artistic people. And I guess what I sort of saw as my vision for my life was, well, something I found very exciting, the prospect of being surrounded by other great creative minds, critically thinking people that had sort of gotten off the standard treadmill that so many of us find ourselves on, and we're going to kind of walk to the beat of their own drummer. And I just really liked all of that. It took 2.5 years. It took a tremendous amount of, searching within our local artistic community to find the right people. Location became a real issue. And we started to develop a pretty clear picture of what we wanted. And by we, I mean my partner Marcia and I. We had been able to sort of conceptualize what we wanted to see happen. And though we, over the 2.5 years, hit a lot of speed bumps and came up against a tremendous number of obstacles, we kind of saw those obstacles as a sign that we were maybe going in the wrong direction, and we paid attention to those red flags. And when we finally hit on this opportunity, the opportunity that ultimately manifested itself, oh my God, everything went so smoothly. The I's were dotting themselves, the T's were crossing themselves, the right people were falling into place. The dream location manifested itself at a great price. The landlady was fabulous, and everything just started falling into place. And that really hit home with me because, of course, during the time I was involved in the abusive relationship with the narcissist, nothing ever worked. I mean, it was just a series of, obstacle after obstacle, and you would be rebuilding and it would all fall apart again. It was just this constant, circling of misery. There was no linear sort of strides being made. So I was really paying attention to that. So I was pretty excited and pretty aware when things started falling into place really nicely. Now, I'm going to show you guys a couple of pictures of the gallery. It is an artist co-op. We have 50 members within our group. We are not a consignment or commission-based group. We are a rent-sharing organization, as I'd hoped it would be. So each of us is able to sell our work at a lesser price. No one is jacking our prices up or making a huge profit off it, and we can pass those sort of better prices off to our clients. And let me show you the store. But before I do that, I'm just going to let you know, we didn't have a lot of money going in. We had a very, very small amount of money. And many of the things in the store, I mean, we pulled out of each other's homes. We pulled out of the garbage. We, reclaimed from the dump. And thank God for spray paint. The shop is beautiful, and man, it was a nightmare the day we leased it, but a little bit of TLC, some love, and a whole lot of paint brought us to that point. Those images are of the grand opening party, which was January 15th of 2020. There was over 500 people there, probably 100 people on the street, and at one point, police were helping direct traffic. It was an overwhelming success, and what a great and wonderful evening it was. When you thought nothing could make that better, a very well respected Mexican prodigy, a great artist by the name of Quetzal, decided to paint a mural on the outside of our building. We very proudly are home to the largest Frida Kahlo mural on the Bay of Banderas. The Google team arrived. They photographed everything, taking hundreds and hundreds of photos, and gave us the most incredible review. In fact, Google, thank you. Google stated, and I quote, "If you have not been to Arte Viviente, you have not been to Puerto Vallarta." The name of the store is Arte Viviente, and it means living art. I guess it's been a bit of a personal experiment, and though I've certainly handed out a bit of advice over the years here at the channel, I really have remained extremely quiet about this. In fact, I just sort of faded away because this experiment was very personal to me. I wanted to know, after being abused to such a horrendous degree, could I pick myself up? Could I brush myself off? Could I realign my thinking? Could I come to terms with what had happened? Could I begin to heal and move forward? Could I envision a better life? Could I slowly, day by day, keep plowing over the obstacles, over the speed bumps, and many of the speed bumps, I came to recognize that I was laying in front of myself, likely due to insecurities, self-doubt developed during the abuse. Could I design my own life in the city I wanted to live in? Could I surround myself with the type of people I wanted to be surrounded with? Could I push my career to the point that it was once again, financially beneficial to me and my family? Well, it's been a while, but the answer is yes. Yes, you can do that. There is nothing special, nothing extraordinary about me. So the answer is yes, we can all do that, regardless of what your dream is, regardless of what you hope for your future. It's all obtainable. Now, life tends to happen, and of course we are now in this current global situation that we're all in. So my store, like all other stores, are closed right now, though we do carry the work of a local medicinal healer, a very famous herbalist by the name of Ricardo, and Ricardo's product line is considered essential, as it is, and we are able to open more frequently than other types of businesses, which has been great. But we also thought to ourselves, what can we do now that is positive? What can we do today that's going to better strengthen the foundation of our store for when we can reopen? And I think I just got myself in a situation where all of my thoughts were about, fix it, repair it, what can I do, what is within my power? And that's really lingered on through this entire global crisis that we're all in right now. And my partner is also a victim of narcissistic abuse, and a very healed and very pulled together woman, a very confident woman now, despite the abuse. And through years of healing and recovering from that, she, much like me, decided to use this downtime, and we are making some improvements and some renovations. So when we can get going again, we will have a very, very strong foundation to relaunch the business from. Of course, daily operations of the store and how busy the store has been has limited my ability to create product lines myself, and I'm using this time to create new product lines, things I've had ideas for and never quite got to. So one of the things that I'm doing actively right now during this global quarantine period is putting my time to good use. And I want to share some of those projects with you guys over the next little while. And I will tell you guys, I've missed you very much. I feel a little bit bad that I haven't been able to make videos, and I guess I was so involved in this personal experiment, and of course the experiment had not come to any conclusion, and I guess I felt like I had nothing to say. I guess in retrospect we could have all gone on that journey together. Again, maybe fear of failure perhaps. I didn't want to be giving any advice that wasn't true and tested. Well, I'm telling you, it's tested and it is true. And we do have the ability to restore our lives in ways that are absolutely incredible. Something else has happened as a result of this project. Now, my basis for this channel and for all of my communications with you guys stems from my personal experience with a narcissistic love interest, someone I believe to be my soulmate, and really my focus has been on that. But now that that's behind me, and now that I have regained, mainstream society, and I'm dealing with large numbers of people on a daily or weekly basis, let me tell you, narcissists are everywhere. And it is this experience with Trevor that now allows me to spot them, see the red flags, act on the red flags, and protect myself, according to, well, everything I've learned. So I am kind of at a point with this where I can say quite honestly, for me today, there is a bright side to the narcissistic abuse. Now, I don't want to underestimate the extreme suffering I know many of you are going through today. And for those of you who did not get free and go no contact prior to this event, you are potentially trapped with the narcissist now. And I'm going to do a video right after this one on ways that I think you can help safeguard and protect yourself while you are trapped indoors with the narcissist. But with that said, the world is full of these creatures, and when you have been the victim of narcissistic abuse, and when you have processes and worked your way free of it, as I feel like I have, yeah, I still have my days, but for the most part, I'm feeling really good. So when you've been through this entire process and you've come out the other side, let me tell you, you have almost got superhuman intuition kind of powers. You can hear people differently. You can almost detect their motives and the covert twisting of words. You can start to see their agenda in a whole different way. I think as we heal, our eyes open up and our ears open, our intuition is fully intact. And I believe this new superpower has really helped me when navigating my way through large groups of people, large groups of business associates, large groups of, clients. It really gives me a different fighting advantage against future narcissistic attacks. And I really want to talk about that because they are everywhere. The possibility of you getting free from a narcissist and not encountering more narcissists, I'm going to tell you, is slim and none. So we need to learn how to deal with them. I feel absolutely bulletproof against the possibility of a reoccurring love relationship with one of them. I feel really sound in knowing that I'm just not vulnerable that way anymore. But it also opened my eyes to the reality that these creatures are everywhere. These soul-sucking monsters are constantly on the hunt. They truly are predators, and we are going to encounter them in every aspect of our lives. And I want to talk a bit in future videos about how I've been able to detect potentially toxic people, how I've been able to safeguard myself against that. And this whole experiment has gone extremely well. And I'm going to tell you guys, I love yous. If not for you guys, I would not be in this position. This has been a great group effort. Many of you have thanked me for being supportive, but the truth is, I am today the product of the incredible love and support that I've received. The great advice, the friendship from all of you, and I am forever grateful for that. And I'm so delighted today to sort of bring you guys up to speed, as far as what I've been doing. But that's it. I have kind of set my life on a course to see how far away can I get from the abuse, from the self-doubt, from the confusion, from the just feeling bad. I don't want to feel bad anymore. And yeah, I know bad things happen, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with authentic emotion based on, something happening. I just don't want to be self-loathing because someone told me I was a horrible person. Anyways, guys, the journey's been incredible. And yes, if you are questioning today, if you are ever going to make a huge distance between the abuse and your new life, you bet you are. You really are. Wonderful things are in your future. Wonderful things are in all of our future. And if we just keep moving forward a little bit every day, this has been years in the coming. And some days I made little tiny steps, and some days, man, I was off to the races. But if you just keep moving forward, do not ever allow yourself to break no contact or get dragged backwards. You're just going to end up in that narc looping hamster wheel from hell. You're never going to make linear strides. I broke contact. I stayed no contact. And I was able to heal. You're never going to heal with this thing harping crap in your ear. Anyways, guys, I love you lots, and I'm really looking forward to doing the next video and talking to you guys a little bit more about what's been happening in my life. I'm Kim. You're watching Kim Wilson TV. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.